sketch. It was all about Tom's first steps and going on our family holiday and that. So it was quite interesting. And that's what I felt at the time were the important things. And Python was just a comedy show, which we happened to have started, which would probably be out of date in a couple of years.
And it did not prove to be so, but the diaries are such an interesting record of history. In fact, I mean, Fawlty Towers, we were talking about John Cleese and the business of actually making a living out of being a writer in those days, even with the success of Python. When he was writing Fawlty Towers, you list here that Connie said each script takes a month's hard work. And I mean, it's screaming still at the moment in New Zealand, and it's still funny. Because there was only 12 episodes made or something ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But this business where you say here that John Cleese had polarised his life into earning, routine, no great pleasure, and non-earning, creative and artistically satisfying. A dangerous setup, I would say. I believe the only sane and satisfying way to live is to fuse the two and avoid, wherever possible, cheapening yourself for money. And that way, talent gets eradicated.
What a moralising thought.
I wouldn't have said that at all. Man of principle, because you never did commercials or any of that sort of thing.
Well, no, that's not entirely true. I did used to do commercials in the early days, and I really needed the money. But they were also uniformly, utterly depressing. I remember having to go along to audition for something where I had to wave a tin of Maxwell House and say, the new sound of Maxwell House coffee. Sound of coffee? How's coffee supposed to sound? And they said, maybe it's funny to you, it's not funny to a lot of other people. How does you need the word? And they're always awful. And you go and you record a commercial, I used to have to do a voice, and you'd be in the studio, and in the control room would be the engineer and one other person, really all you needed to get it right. But there'd be 6 people from the company, 6 people from the accountant, 6 people from the publicity agency. They'd all be crammed in there, and you do it, and they say, can you make it very good? And then someone will say, can you make it slightly less Scottish? Okay, and you wanted me to do it Scottish, yes, but slightly less Scottish. Do it less Scottish. And I said, no. Can you just forget the Scottish? Can you do it sort of southern England, possibly Welsh border? Can you emphasise the 3rd letter of T? And then they're completely barking mad people in there. What were they trying to do? So I did find it quite depressing and vowed if I had the money, I wouldn't go and do the commercial. But John was always quite clear about it. If he'd get a lot of money from commercial, and still does, he will do it, because that will finance the other good things that he does.
The means to the end.
Yeah. And I was just being a bit moralised and saying, one affects the other.
Well, and of course you found this formula, from the late 80s, which I'm sure has stood you in good stead on every level. And I guess made you able to relax about going out and earning a living by your craft. You could pick and choose the projects that you do. I mean, you've written children's books and plays and fitted that in amongst all of these things.
Yeah.
A carefully planned career, was it?
Not at all. Completely ad hoc, off the wall. I don't know why. I never signed up for any plan or any pattern. It's nearly always been meeting somebody or someone who's pushed me in a certain direction. I mean, I went to university in Oxford, and I was a provincial boy from Sheffield. I didn't even know what pizza meant. Someone introduced me to pizza. In Sheffield just didn't have all that sort of stuff. And someone from London met, we got on very well, we had a good sense of humour, and he encouraged me to go and write cabaret and perform it. And I never dreamt of that. What would you do? Stand up there in front of people and do your own jokes? He said, yeah, you can get paid for it. And he sort of pushed me into this. And we did cabaret, and that's how I got into the University Review, and played at the Edinburgh Festival, and met Terry Jones. And Terry got me involved in a writing project, and I've sort of been moved on by other people at each point, whereas I sort of sat there wondering what to do next. Something kind of comes up. But I think I have a certain instinct for what I can do. I've learnt from trial and error that some things I can do, some things I can't do.
What can't you do?
Well, I can't do musicals, for instance. I couldn't get the dancing right. I'm really bad.
But that could be part of the routine.
That's right. Well, yes, it makes it practical. I can do that very well. In any form. But things like that. I did try writing a screenplay, and I think I can write screenplays, but it's a difficult thing to get right. Children's books, another very difficult thing to do. I really admire people who write good children's books, because children are so that they are there. You can't pull the wool over their eyes. They'll either like it or they won't like it. They're very clear. They just ignore what they don't like. And I found myself, I did a number of children's books, some of which I'm very happy with. But you try to, if you're not very careful, you write down to children. It's absolutely fatal. So I wouldn't say I've mastered that. But I think I say I realise that I'm probably better at being myself through these journeys than I am at fabricating.
And